right, welcome to So You. I am Tim.
Hey, I'm Elle.
And we're going to be talking about Get Out 2 by Jordan Peele.
Don't. Bryson Tiller, don't right now.
It's actually Us. We're going to be talking about Us.
The film, not us.
The film. Yeah, so you watched Us. Elle actually watched it today.
Mere hours ago.
Yeah.
It's fresh on the brain.
I watched it like 2 weeks ago, but I'm an elephant, both in stature and in memory.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Before we dive in, though, before we get into the nitty gritty, I realized something.
Yes.
Yeah, I realized.
What you got? What you got?
You know, actually, we're looking at her a few weeks back. Me and my better half, Brenna. She her and I got her family dog. She's like 15 and a half years old. Her name is Maya. I always call her Maya Bear because she looks like a bear.
Can confirm she does.
Can
look like a brown
confirm
bear.
she looks. She sits like one too. Yeah. Because Brenna's like, you look like a bear. And so I pulled up photos of, that's what you do. You just go to Google.
No, absolutely.
And I pulled
images.
I pulled up photos of bear. And so Maya kind of sits like on her actual like
Hind legs.
tail, like on her ass. And that's how bears sit. They sit the exact, it was hilarious. I mean, because she was sitting and then the bear was sitting the same way. And I was like, look at this shit. Like,
What is she, Smokey the Bear reincarnated?
Yes.
Did she tell you what starts forest fires as well?
Yes.
Does she prevent you from doing those?
Yes.
No, she's a sweetheart, though. She's the sweetest
Yes,
bear I've
but
ever met in my entire life.
Here's the thing that I realized, though.
What is your kicker?
The moment you get a dog, you start speaking out loud to no one more than you've ever done in your entire life. Like, it is...
You weirdo. No, that's such a thing. No,
it's
that's a thing. 'Cause
incredible.
when you get a pet, you just start talking.
It's incredible how much I talk to the air.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't...
She obviously can't respond back, right?
Listen, outside of like the 3 things she likes, which are all food related, by the way.
Very much like humans.
Yeah,
right?
which is normal. But that's the thing is like, maybe I'm the fucking weirdo, but like, listen, like, I feel like we all kind of talk to ourselves here and there. It's not like full blown conversations, maybe some of us, but
I don't
like,
know. I've been at work and I've definitely heard some of my coworkers. I'm like, who the fuck
full blown
are you talking to
conversations, or just kind of little like verbal things that you're trying to make decisions. You're just trying to get through a task,
Yes.
and so you're verbally like to no one
Yes.
figuring it out.
Yes.
That's a very normal thing. But the moment we got this dog, I find, because Brenna travels, so I'm here with the dog a lot, like, and I find myself just kind of like, I'm like going to the bedroom, and so she kind of perks up, and she's like, where the hell is he going? And so I'm just like, what girl? And I have to do it in like I don't even say girl, that's a lie. I say, what is it, girly? That's what I say to her.
Yes, that's so sweet.
And I can't talk to her like I can't be like, hey, what up, girly? You know what I mean? Like, I have to talk to her as if me somehow like changing my inflection will increase her ability to understand
No,
me.
listen, okay. So for those of you who don't know, Tim can be kind of a hard ass. Not on like a, oh, look at this fucking hard ass, but just like, oh shit, like, all right, like I'm not gonna fuck with that guy. So to see him interact with this sweet old bear, I'm just like, wow, what a changed man this is. And now you're over here like, hey, girly, I'm just going to... Oh.
she perked up.
Yeah, she was like, oh, are we going somewhere? Okay. Everyone's cool? We're just hanging out. Yeah, so she's our pod pup.
Yeah.
I don't care what any of you say. Listen, if you 5 months or 15 months, you're still a puppy in my eyes.
Yeah.
Just to
Right.
clarify. So,
she's 15 and a half years old.
What is that in human years?
I don't know.
Are you one of those?
Well, no. I'm a
This animal is this years old.
I'm not like I'm a good dog owner because
Not yet?
Because I'm a good dog owner because I'm very I take her out as much as I can.
Good.
And I play with her. I keep her in entertained and in the loop. I don't just kind of like zone out and veg out for hours at a time without, like, giving her attention.
Good.
But I'm not like, I don't know. I'm not like I'm a dog parent. Like, I'm not those people. Listen, if you are those people, guys, please stop.
You're not there yet, but you will be though.
I'm not ever gonna get there. I've never been.
Now.
I've never been like that with the dogs. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's a sweetheart. She's really old. I mean, if she was young, I would lose my shit, just because I don't have the patience for a pet. But she's a sweetheart.
No,
I just wanted to note how much more I'm talking to the wind now that she's in my life.
No, that's really sweet. I think you actually bring up a really good point, because when you do get a pet, or a dog, cat, snake, whatever tickles your fancy, you just start. I think I'm gonna go do that. Like, what do you think? Like, I had a cat. He's still alive. I say had. I have.
Yeah, Jesus.
He's shared custody. That's a story for another pod. But so I would just be like, all right, Archie, like, what should I wear? Should I wear this shirt, or should I wear that shirt? Like, I don't know, Archie, what time should I leave today? What are you doing, Archie? Like, expecting this cat to just, honestly, what would you do if an animal like spoke back to me? I would probably lose my shit. I don't think I would have like oh, whoa, I would be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
like, did someone drug me?
Yeah, you would have you would immediately have been like, oh, that weed was laced.
Yeah, immediately. There would be no like.
There would have been no second guessing.
This is no Cheshire Cat like Alice in Wonderland. This is like oh my gosh, like someone call 911. I guess
that's actually a good point. Like, do you think there's ever been like do you think there's a point where like there's so many like cartoon characters and stuff like that, like animal characters that talk so often, that if it actually happened in life, you'd be just fucking casual about it?
Absolutely not.
There's no way. I know I wouldn't be. I would be.
No, I'd flip my shit. No, I'd literally flip my shit.
Yeah, I would lose my mind.
So Well, now depending on the character though, right? So if I'm now hear me out. I would still freak out, but if it's like fucking what, like Tom Hanks, aka Woody, shows up, I'd be like,
wait a minute,
what the fuck is up, Woody?
Yeah, so if your cat started talking to you and it sounded like Tom Hanks, you'd be okay with it.
Well, maybe.
That's Tom Hanks is your bottom line, or is that like what it has to be?
Tom Hanks is okay. Tom Hanks is a great man. You should actually check out his Wikipedia page. He does a lot.
I'm not taking anything.
Community.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from that. I love Tom Hanks. That wasn't a dig towards Tom.
I'm just letting you know.
Tom, I love you. If you listen to this podcast, so which you should, by the way. We might talk about a movie of yours. It'll be good. We might do some flashback stuff. I don't know.
For sure. No, we absolutely will. Absolutely
That's gonna happen.
Because we're perfect for it.
Yeah. We're already jotted. Not even jotted. I put it in my little voice recorder.
Oh, what you got?
Real quick. Well, I just was like flashback episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
Fantastic.
We need to flashback episodes.
No, we absolutely are.
Because I don't know, keeping up with the times is hard. You get older, it gets harder.
Yeah,
that's a thing, man.
Yeah, no, it is. You just don't have that much effort. Or that much time. You don't give a fuck. I guess at this point, you're just.
Yeah, and even if it's not like a lack of time, it becomes a priority of time. Maybe. It's like, it's not necessarily I don't have the time to like keep up with the youngsters. It's just I don't want to. I'm like, I'm too busy doing other shit.
Okay.
I'm just kind of like prioritizing my own things, and Maya,
sweetheart,
bear. The bear.
No, you bring. Okay, so I guess this is probably gonna. I learned the term snatched the other day. I still don't understand what the fuck it actually means. Yeah, but it's a good thing. Like, it was in the context.
And like you
for example,
something?
no. For example, maybe.
Maybe.
This girl, she had great makeup on.
Mm-hmm.
She looked flawless. She was looking fly. And
right, is this in person or like?
Yeah, no, this was in person.
Okay,
so this was like an actual interaction that I had. This was
right.
3 other
at your job.
Yeah, but it was me and this like I wouldn't say older, but she's like on closer to our side of age, and 2 younger, like closer to the 21s, 8 20s, right? And so she looked great, and she's like, "Oh, girl, like, snatched." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Apparently, it means you look great, or like you fucking pulled that look off. And I was like, "How? What? I don't understand. Does this mean I'm?" And I was like, "Does this mean I'm old? Like, does this?" Speaking of old, actually,
Which, real quick, before I'll let you go, we sound like a bunch of fucking douchebags. We sound like a bunch of douchebags. Like, we're 20 fucking 6 and 25. We're like, we're so old. And I think it's just because we're kind of old in spirit. Which I get told a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
I
I've
get
been
told
told
that a
my
lot.
entire life. I was told that.
You just got
You're
an
an
old
soul. Yeah, you're an old soul. I'm
Soul
like,
is the
okay,
word.
great, Susan. Can I like buy alcohol now?
Yeah. You're just such an old soul.
Thanks, I guess. I don't know what good this does for me.
What were you gonna say then before?
No, I was
rudely interrupted.
No, you're fine. Fucking males. No, I'm just kidding. So it turns out I learned that. So this week, J-Lo actually. Do you remember that green dress that J-Lo had? It was the deep V, and she wore. I think it was the Grammy Awards. It was like everyone flipped their shit because it was essentially just like her legs were showing and her like tits. It was fantastic though. I mean, she looked fucking great. She looks so she wore it this week. It was like some fashion week.
She wore the same thing.
Yeah, and she looked again. I think she actually looked better now than she did then, which I don't know how you do because she's
what is she like 48 now?
Back time. I have no idea. She's probably younger than me at this point. I don't know. She's Benjamin Button, just better. No, I don't understand. Whatever she does,
J-Lo, if you're listening to this, I'm taken, girl. Don't hit me in the
Don't
DMs.
hit her. Yeah, he's taken. J-Lo. Yeah, I mean, fuck A-Rod, right?
You're classier than that, girl.
Listen, Tim hasn't been busted for any type of extracurricular drug enhancements.
Exactly.
So that's all I'm saying. We know what that does.
Yeah.
Listen. Anyways, besides the point. Allegedly.
She snatched that outfit? Was that where you were going?
All right. No, but where I was going with that, because you reminded me about the Google images. Apparently, that was like the first image that was officially considered to be like the beginning of the Google image. Because people were like, "Did you see J-Lo in that dress? Oh my gosh, I can't believe she wore that." And now, like, how many, not even like a decade later, we're just like, our bathing suits, our thong bikinis with like a triangle top, and we're like, oh. Anyways, wear whatever you want, though. Not.
It's actually, it's
do what you want to do.
Yeah, don't fucking kink shame some people.
Yeah, no. I'm like, fuck.
Which I've heard that phrase a lot
want.
recently. Don't kink shame me.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard it a lot.
Where have you been this week?
Yeah, I don't fucking know. Don't kink shame me.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, all right. Yeah, I know. Do what you want to do.
No, it's actually funny that you kind of mentioned that, right? It's like, I was actually talking to some people about music. There's a kid at my job that doesn't like fucking Prince and Michael. I don't know, he's a fucking psycho, but he's young. He's like 20.
That is no excuse.
It is no excuse. Those artists are timeless.
Yeah.
But I was saying, and he kind of asked me like, well, like, what's some of your favorite stuff? And I actually mentioned like the Slim Shady LP and the Eminem LP.
Oh,
like,
wow. Okay.
Well, the reason why is because, and it's not,
SMH. Yeah. No, go ahead.
The reason being is because, I mean, I think we grew up. I mean, we were young during when he released those, but like Eminem was such a prevalent, artist, musician during growing up. And I still enjoy him. I still listen to him. But like I find myself not going back to his old stuff because I like it more. Going back to his old stuff because I get in like this mind where like I'm hearing this like prolific and profane stuff, which by today's standards is kind of like normal. I mean, there's even certain stuff that was bleeped out that he can say now.
Interesting. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I listen to it, I just think like, man, he was doing this shit in like 96. And I just think about the world
in 1996.
In 96. Listen, I wasn't like old enough to be like
I was
aware.
3.
Right. I wasn't old enough to be aware of what the world was like.
Sure.
But the great thing about our lives is that we can look back, and see literally everything. Thanks,
yes.
internet. And so
Thanks, Al
it just
Gore.
kind of to touch on that whole like, yeah, like it was a big thing, and now it's not really like, I mean, you know, it's not prolific. Almost knocked my fucking pop filter off. It's nothing like crazy.
Pop back and drop it.
Yeah, it's nothing super crazy. And I just was kind of explaining that to them at work day. I thought that was funny that kind of lined up. But you know, to kind of get on topic, you know,
What's that?
to kind of get on topic, to segue into a thing. Fucking Us. You watched it. I didn't want to inform your opinion. I feel like I kind of did when I was like, I thought it was a great movie. Let me just say that outright. I thought Us was a great movie, and if you don't think Us is a great movie, fuck you. I'm kidding. You can not think it's a great movie. It's fine.
No, but this was my PSA. I genuinely feel bad for you if you came into this film thinking it was going to be a Get Out 2. Because no, like there was never anything about, oh, this is like a prequel to Get Out, or it was just a completely separate film. Same guy, Jordan Peele, shout out.
Yeah.
Same
you know what?
Genius.
Borderline racist white people. No, I'm kidding.
It's all the same fucking.
I'm
just kidding.
I don't want to stir that pot.
Not
but
yet.
like,
We probably will here in a little bit, but
like, it almost. I'm not saying like it felt like racism. What I'm saying is that what it felt like? That's what it felt like when. Because I watched it much later. I mean, Us came out earlier this year, so we're kind of like behind the fold. But like
way behind.
I didn't watch it till a couple weeks ago. But like a lot of people told me that they thought it was okay. Like it's kind of like, you know, he's doing this thing again with like, you know, it's like a black family, and I'm just like, why? I don't understand why that deters from.
What's it matter?
From like how good of a fucking movie it is.
Right.
And again, not to inform your opinion because I don't actually know what you thought of it.
We'll get to it.
I was actually going to say, what did you think of it?
So first go around, when it immediately ended, I was like, what the fuck? But then honestly, like it was a great film though. Like I think it's like 30, 40 minutes in and you're just immediately into the action. There's no like bullshit.
You're not fucking around.
We're into the plot. Like, let's go. Like, let's hit that fucking denouement. Like, come on, let's go. So I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was a great film. I think this is kind of where we like fuck up because we just, like here's this film, and especially when you have people that are like, oh, Get Out had all of these meanings to it. Like it was, again, Jordan Peele. It's definitely more than just here's your film, right? Like there's definitely more stuff. It's definitely deeper than just that. Mm-hmm. However, it was a great film. Just off the, if you just were just trying to watch it just as a film, it was a great film. I think people just tried to immediately try and be like, a scene would happen, and then it'd be like, okay, so like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean for our system? And it's just like, just fucking watch the movie,
right? Get
your, gather your thoughts after the fact. Just enjoy the film, though. Enjoy the ride.
And I think it's expected and understood, like, I guess from people to it's Jordan Peele, same director. So I think people were going in and he has a style, and unfortunately it's kind of a provocative one. And so I think that's why, we kind of touched on that announcement right before we, kind of dove in here is like, yeah, people walked into it expecting Get Out 2, which is why I even opened with the joke, is because it's not just because he has a certain style that he wants to portray. And it's not, that's borderline insulting. It's not even
it's super insulting.
It's not even a fucking style.
Right.
He just wants to support a community.
Yeah.
In a well-deserved one. I mean, both Get Out and Us were so well acted. It was, mind-boggling how well they're acted and how well they're directed. And kudos to him.
Across the
that's
board.
Really what it comes.
Academy Award winning, right?
And so, like, I mean, the biggest thing I took from it is it wasn't a comedy. I mean, Get Out is a fucking comedy. Get Out is a comedy horror.
Yeah, it's quite a ride the whole way through, and this was just a very different film.
This was just a thriller.
Yeah.
It was a pure thriller.
There's no.
I was on edge from the jump.
Yes.
Like with the, I mean, I don't.
Spoilers, by the way. Sorry.
Oh shit! Yeah.
By the way, this
spoilers.
The show just assumes you've already seen it, so we're just.
I don't know the little girl that they casted. I mean, that fucking smile, nailed. I mean, she nails that smile. It's the creepiest fucking smile I've ever seen. It's so creepy. But it's very tense from the get-go. Incredibly well acted. It gets right into the thick of it. And
Madison Curry.
Right. And so here, good job, Madison. He nailed it.
Nailed it.
And so in filmmaking, there's this ordeal that happens. When you create a story, you kind of decide what you want to give the audience. Like, how much do you want to reveal? And I think Us does it brilliantly.
Yes, it's a great pacing to the story.
It doesn't explain. Honestly, you in the film, you still don't even know why that facility exists and why those people are clones and why they're even there. That's fine. And I think maybe some people hated that.
Right.
Because unfortunately we kind of live in a blockbustery, here's everything for you on a platter type
right. No, absolutely.
scenario.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not meant to just, get everything solved for you, and it's meant for you to sit and digest it. And not even on like, what does that mean in society? Which it does ask that question. I just mean like the general sense of like, man, what the fuck is happening in this universe he created? And again, they don't explain it, and I think I'm just so in tune with that type of filmmaking.
Sure.
Because I mean, what got me into filmmaking anyway is the fact that I would just kind of watch a lot of independent films, and that's like,
oh yeah, okay.
When you make independent films, you don't have a huge budget. That's what you use. That's your tool. It's like, what's important to give to people, what's not important. And just because like there's a whole thing going on, and I mean, I've seen independent films, with monsters and all that. I mean, the movie Monsters actually is a good. It's like you don't really need to know why the fuck they're there. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Like you kind of get it through context clues. It's about what's happening to the people in the story.
Right. I think, and I like now that we're doing this and kind of having this outlook on it, it's take the story just for what it's worth, just at that moment in time. Yeah. You don't have to look for any like it. Right. Like why? What do you mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Just it is what it is. Like it's.
Where do they come from?
Right. I mean, it's very much. I mean. Our image, but it is kind of like life, like right, like some shit happens there. It's obviously you're like, why did that happen? But it's like, why did that happen? But like, okay, it is what it is. Like, this is the situation. Like, let's move, let's roll. Yeah, very much the way with some of these stories. Also, just side note, I thoroughly enjoy how movies. I think here more recently, the soundtracks are just fantastic.
Oh yeah,
it's more than just like, oh, here's this beautiful, so good, so good. It's more than just like, here's just like, here's Hans Zimmer and like go in on some orchestra shit, which is incredible. Don't get me wrong, I will fucking listen to that. Like, just man. I will just keep it. Gracious. I will keep that on for hours on loop, no problem. Yeah. But I appreciate how we're now, maybe mixing some music in. Right. I don't know. It's cool.
It depends. It's cool. I think I mentioned I mentioned Dunkirk there, and Hans Zimmer's great at using music in the way to pace a film. Mm-hmm. If I don't know, not to make this about Dunkirk or Hans Zimmer. Love both things, but Dunkirk is literally the whole film is paced based on his ordeal.
It's incredible.
So. Nolan and him work together a lot, and so and that's incredible. But yeah, it's like you mentioned, because we've actually, we watched, Euphoria as well, and Euphoria has a good soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I generally think that
And
with
Get Out also had a good one too. So it's like they all just
Black Panther also has an
Oh,
Kendrick Lamar.
my
Listen, that'll be
God.
that will be an entire if we do Black Panther, which I feel like I feel like
number 2's coming out.
We'll do a Marvel dig here soon,
Yeah.
but just Kendrick Lamar, you have to soundtrack everything now from here on out. Like if someone could do, I think he would. I would ask him.
Listen, I will also say, Mike Will Made It did Creed 2.
Will Made. Oh yeah,
and
great.
Creed 2 soundtrack,
Fantastic.
so fucking
So good.
So
good.
So yes, that's a good point. Us had a great soundtrack.
It was so good. I got fine. And like the
Yeah.
Okay, so
fucking song, when I hear it now, I'm kind of creeped out.
I know I can't hear it anymore.
Yeah,
That
I'm
doesn't
kind
mean
of creeped out a little bit.
What's the song? It's not about drugs anymore.
No.
It's lost that connotation.
It's about us, baby.
It's about okay. It's about trust. So we got the beautiful, stunning Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, our guy from Black Panther, and
Right.
something else he was in, and then Elizabeth Moss, Handmaid's
Yeah.
Tale.
Well, it's also Tim from Tim and Eric as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Tim, not this bit of different Tim.
Yeah. From
And
Tim
then
and Eric, which have you ever watched Tim and Eric?
Wow, it's weird how I didn't even fucking click on that and it went to Tim's. Fucking...
Have you ever watched Tim and Eric?
No, I have not.
Oh man.
Tell me more. Should I? Well, I guess not right now.
Yeah,
it's
not
not
right
the
now,
pod for that. But
yeah, we'll dive into that fucking universe.
so I do want to say, so when we open, so the film opens. I want to know what your thoughts are on this. The film opens with a quote, not a quote. It's just a fucking slide with text on it.
Right.
It says, there are thousands of miles of tunnels beneath the continental United States, abandoned subway systems, unused service routes, and deserted mine shafts. Many have no known purpose at all.
Right.
True or false? Probably.
Definitively true.
It's not just the underground roadway.
Definitively
I
true.
agree with that. No, I agree with that. Yeah.
Definitely true.
I think that's true.
And it also sets
For
up.
sure.
It also sets up. It's the only kind of explanation they give for what's going on. Whatever science experiment happened. Whatever the fuck that is.
So half-assed internet research, which stole that from fucking Bill Simmons in the Ringer pod. But
Right.
I barely did some research, and there was this take. Someone had a hot take about how the tunnel that was built, or essentially that facility that they were in.
Right.
So I think it's like in 1980s, right? It's like 1982 is when it's like,
Yes.
it's like, I think that's where it's like 96, something like that.
Yeah, well,
so
she got a Thriller shirt. So.
right. So we're in the peak of Reaganomics, right? Or Nixon. Fucking the drug war. They're all the same. No, I'm just kidding. The drug war. And so someone was like, I took this as the United States putting all the poor people down in the tunnels. And then conducting experiments on them.
Right.
I think that person's dead now. No, but I was like, oh, okay, that's an interesting take.
Right.
Okay.
Only Jordan would know. But that's what That's actually
He had 5 on it.
That is a very interesting take, though.
No, I thought that was I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I
didn't think about that at all.
I could take that.
Here's
Depends on your level, right?
Here's how little, which was kind of part of my first point, is I just thought so little about the people down there. I thought so little about that whole part of it because I just didn't care about like why. I just thought it was a way for Mr. Peele to kind of create a scenario where you become your nightmare,
right.
essentially, which not even become, you are
You yourself are your own nightmare.
Yeah.
There's definitely some truth to that. 100%.
It's not even some. It's 100% true. We're all the most insecure, like, people. Like, everybody is just so insecure. Even the most confident person is probably the most insecure individual. Trust me, I'm very confident, and I'm also wildly insecure at the same time.
She's confident.
Yeah. But, like, we really do get in our own ways a lot. And I think this is from a personal standpoint and from like a grander scale, which it hits on both.
Yes.
Like it does both.
Yes.
Which is what I personally think the whole thing's about. I don't think, the people underground, it's a MacGuffin. Like it's what it is. Like it's sort of, it's. I made a short film years ago. No, I made a short film when I was a student in college, and in our film, it was kind of like this drug deal, kind of like Snatch, very, quick pace, like drug deal type movie.
Mm-hmm.
And very Guy Ritchie-esque. Thanks, Guy. And we didn't like create a bunch of little baggies with fucking white powder in it. We literally just had a bunch of boxes, like jewelry boxes, like very small, like 1x1 boxes that we used as
that's cool.
Because that's not, who gives a fuck what the thing is they're trading.
Right.
It's not what it's about. It's about the person and the situation he's in.
Right.
And so the shit that he's trading is just it's a thing to keep the story kind of flowing.
Yes.
So again, it's a MacGuffin. It's not what you're actually supposed to focus on. And the people down there, who gives a fuck why they're there? It's not what you're supposed to focus on.
Right.
And I think a lot of people struggled with that.
Yes.
Like not focusing on
there
that.
There must be some double meaning with them, right?
This has to be explained. Why are they there? I don't understand. And it's like, it doesn't matter why they're there. The actual story of it is the fact that, we are enemies. We should fear ourselves more than we should fear anything else. And it's a commentary, I think, on, you know what? It's not even a specific commentary. It's a commentary specific to what you think that impacts. Like, if you think we're our own worst enemies when it comes to the environment, then that impacts you in that way. If you think, so many people are worried about robberies and burglaries and immigrants and all this, but like really, statistically speaking, you have a bigger chance of being hurt by the people near you, around you, that are close to you than you do of anyone else. And that's such an anecdotal fucking, of course you do. You see everyone else like 90,000% more than you see a random person on the street. And so the chances of you impacting and hurting yourself it far and beyond any other like stranger.
Sure. Realistically, we do to ourselves all the time on a day-to-day basis, right? Like whether it's just something that's, I'll just take care of that tomorrow. Why don't you just fucking take care of it today, right? Whether it's something small like that or...
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm, and that's what I think, like, to me, you could take it in every level. That, like, again, like, when I first like thought about it, the first thing that kind of did hit my mind was like the world, like the environment, the things that we're doing as people, and like the fact that we aren't taking grand enough steps to stop that. And then I really started to think about it, and I was like, well, these guys had to like kill themselves. And then I thought to myself, like, sort of like how you have to kind of like move on, with your life. You have to kind of get rid of this version of yourself that you maybe created, or maybe you were, and it's just not working anymore. And that shit feels so hard sometimes.
Oh, right. No, for sure.
And so I think there's just so many levels to that. And I think you could, and I think people should have just gotten lost in that. Right. Rather than trying to think of like what fucking weird science experiment was going on.
Well, it's perfect, right? Like it kind of falls in line, because it's like, instead of just focusing on like, maybe, on ourselves, well, there has to be some other meaning, right? Like, we can't, I would rather just not talk about myself right now. I would rather just talk about other people. So when I looked it up, that quote, so that I guess homeless man, that is... Right. When she's walking down, which we find out is actually on the I don't even know. It doesn't. There's not even. Anyways, so it's Jeremiah 11:11, and it's therefore thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. So that's what that board was.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't really know what to. But that's what I was curious though what it was.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah. I don't know. Good piece of scripture.
Yeah, okay.
That's very...
The righteous gemstones.
It feels kind of on the nose for what kind of goes down in the film, though. Yeah.
The kid knows. The kid knows mom's not mom.
Right.
Once he got down there, he was like, oh, fuck. Like... Did we miss the mask on memes? Mask on. And I was like, did no one turn that into a... Was that not like a thing? Did no one...
Did that surprise you?
No, it didn't. I
didn't?
had kind of thought that from the jump. I was like, I bet this bitch probably switched. Like something must have happened. Right. And then, I mean, obviously down the rabbit hole you go, then the way she interacts and the way she is, I'm like, oh, well, maybe not. Like maybe this was actually, and then you find out, no, it was just.
But then she had the raspy voice.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's very smart. That's a very smart like technique though, is because you hear her have this voice and you don't even really think about it in the sense of like, oh, she got choked. You kind of just you kind of just think like, oh, she's just like from a different world.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if it really like surprised me.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe it kind of did. It wasn't like the moment in the car definitely wasn't like a whoa. No, it was it was definitely before, but I don't think I had it from like the jump. At least I guess maybe like part of me was just like, man, I hope she made it out.
Right. No, it's like, no.
She definitely did not make it out.
So now you're like, who do I? Well, so that's another thing about it, right? Like, what is our intentions, right? Like, what is good? What is evil?
Right. Because when you find out that it's not her, then you're kind of wondering, like,
what the fuck? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Was I cheering for the bad guy the whole time?
Yeah. And that's the whole thing of like, that's such an
right?
interesting like. Because you don't really know.
No. And it's like, you think you know someone, right? We've spent a whole 2 hours with this character, which is a long time in film, I would say. Yeah. You spend the entire time with someone on this adventure, and then you're like, wait a fucking minute. This is no, wait a minute.
Right.
Am I a bad person? Like, did I just cheer for the villain? But no, I mean.
Well, maybe it's more of like, I don't know. Maybe it's kind of a comment on that whole side of things as well. You know, I mean because shit's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Like, she didn't seem. I guess the thing I was kind of wondering is, was her plan always to, get out? Was her plan always to get out and then just go about her way, or was her plan to get out that kind of like caused that revolt as well?
Oh, because it caused a revolt. Because at the end of the film, there's still just a massive line of tethered people.
I get that, but was that her ultimate? Was that her ultimate goal, or did she kind of just force the original to go in that path? You know what I mean? That's the part that I was really kind of like. That's the part that kind of stuck with me, where I was kind of like, okay, like that's kind of a surprise. Like, it's the little girl actually didn't make it. She got stuck down there. She got choked, which is why her voice is raspy. And then I thought like,
brilliant.
Okay, did she mean for all of them to break out? And did she accidentally cause a revolt due to her actions of getting out of that place? Which then opens up a whole nother fucking can of shenanigans. And then it becomes like, you know, when you destroy previous versions of yourselves, it does launch a whole, you know, chain of reaction.
It does. No, it does. Yeah.
You know, you try and like leave and forget about it, but in reality, it's also going on in the background. And it may come up to bite you in the ass.
Usually does.
Or stab you with a pair of shears. Jesus fucking Christ.
Snip.
By the way, I don't know if I've ever discussed this with you. Getting stabbed is my biggest fear.
Oh, yeah.
I would take fire over being stabbed multiple times. The idea of a sharp thing just piercing your fucking flesh and bones and it just...
Okay, but compared to fire, though...
here's the thing with fire.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
It burns off all your nerve endings and usually inhale it and die immediately. You don't actually like... A lot of people imagine you just burning forever and you feel all of that.
That's kind of what I assumed, yeah.
Not how it goes. Most of the time, if you're fully engulfed, I mean, it's like...
You just go into shock.
You're going to go into shock. You got like 10 seconds of pain and then your nerve endings are gone and then you inhale it and then it burns your lungs and you die.
But if you're stabbed, you feel everything, right? Yeah, there's no...
all of it.
There's no body going into... It's just like...
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
You know that old thing where people are like, would you rather like freeze or burn? It's like, burn, dude.
Burn.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, sure. When you freeze, you have a moment at the
slower,
end.
Right?
Yeah, but it's so much slower. Because, you have a moment at the end where you're like, oh, I'm warm. Because you have like that like reverse thing and then you die.
No. Forget that. No.
But it takes so much longer to get there. No way.
I didn't know that. Well, yeah, now I'd rather take fire any day.
Yeah.
Death by fire.
Fire any day.
Stabbing
is really high on my list of things I would rather not. Like,
yeah, well, I mean,
drowning's up there next to it.
Oh fuck, drown. Yeah, no, like, drowning is terrifying for me.
There's such a visceral image of like a stab. So that got me.
Out of the entire film, you're like, if there's anything that's worrisome,
where's the shears? Where do they come from? Where do they get the fucking shit? They're all the same shears.
I enjoyed that fight scene between.
It was incredible.
It was fun at the end there with both of them. I just want to take a moment because I feel like people could relate to this. Say people probably. Well, they're in the house. It's like that night that the kid, he went and peed and she was like, oh no, like, where'd you go?
Yeah.
So she's like, I want to leave. Like, I'm not cool with this. Like,
yep.
I don't feel right. Like, this doesn't feel good. Like, I am just not comfortable. And he's just like, but you look good. And I'm like, I was like, fucking, yeah. That's how I know this movie was relatable because of that moment right there.
Right.
It was like,
have you had a lot of experience with men like attracting you to sleeping with them?
No, it's like, let me take a second to just talk about how I feel for a second, regardless if it makes sense to you or not. And it's like, okay, but you look good. And it's like, no. And I think at the, when they're like, it's at the end and they're kind of more towards the end. And it's the showdown, right? So it's the mom.
Yeah.
The tethered mom and the tethered boy.
Yeah.
And they're all in the car, and then they all get out because they realize it's a trap.
That's actually now I remember. That's the moment I realized they had swapped.
Yeah.
Because if you notice throughout a lot of the film,
really?
it was a mirror. They mirrored their actions.
Yes.
But not with the mom.
No.
Because it was the inverse.
Oh.
So she had learned how to, break that hard of a connection. So now they don't inverse each other.
That's incredible.
But
yeah, because the boys,
everybody else,
was like,
yeah,
everybody back else, to the fire.
Yeah, everybody else inversed.
That was a beautiful thing.
So that's the moment.
Nice call.
That's the moment I noticed.
That was,
you had to jog my memory, but yeah, That's
So
the
I
moment
tried
I noticed.
No, that's great. That's a great pickup because that's absolutely because literally like 20 seconds beforehand the child realizes he can control the kid, and then you're just like, well, actually,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, I didn't even pick up on that, and I just watched it earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the moment I realized that. I was like, oh shit, I bet she's not.
Wait a second.
I bet she's not the original.
Yeah.
Who's the original? You know what I mean?
What is normal these days,
It's
right?
not explained. That's
not,
I guess that's what I'm. That's
yeah,
what I mean.
that's the
Is
best part
there's
about
just so many things you can take from it, and I think people should start enjoying that more.
Yeah.
That's a level of critical thinking. Maybe that's why it got like. Maybe that's why. And I didn't actually look at the reviews from like critics. So
I didn't even bother. I just watched it.
Yeah, so I don't really know what they thought. I just know what like a lot of people in my circles were telling me.
Yeah.
And they were just kind of all like, it's okay.
It wasn't
like,
good out.
It wasn't like great. It was okay. But like I don't know, man. I thought Get Out had a lot of great like critical thought. I mean, you can like there's a lot of visual like stimulus in that film that is very related to the message. Us has just as much. It's like just as much, and I don't know why it didn't register as well with people. Maybe because there is no humor. It's there, and I think maybe the humor of Get Out kind of helped. Especially
kind of lay it down the foundation.
You know, Get Out's about racial tension. When Us is not. It's not about racial tension.
It's right, and the thing with Get Out almost just
is it?
Well, okay, you could definitely say there's some underlying, but for the most part, between the two, between Get Out and Us, obviously Get Out is
the most.
Yeah.
Again, since Us is basic not connotation, but it's basic like
racism over.
Well, it's basic.
I voted for Obama twice.
Its basic idea is like. For us is that we're our own worst enemies, and I said it can go on the grand scale, and so the grand scale, I mean, racism falls under like an issue. So maybe for some people when they watched us, they were like, "Yeah, we're our worst enemies," and I think like racism deals with that. So, who knows?
I think you're right about that, though.
But
yeah, between the two, Get Out would kind of it was kind of laid out for you a little bit more like. Oh shit!
It's
like
clearly about race.
Right. And it's like, and then when you not to negate from the race part, but when you take the storyline, it's just like, here are these people. They're essentially body snatching.
Yeah, they body snatch.
It's
people.
It's kind of it's laid out a little bit easier versus Us. It's again just there's a different level of thought there that you have to take. It's not just like. It's not just on a silver platter for you. Yeah,
it's a thriller film.
Yeah, a great thriller.
It's a thriller film that has like a very big like thing going on. And I agree. I think it's a great thriller film. I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah,
I was tense.
I was tense the whole time.
Yeah,
I don't know. The bunnies were weird. It reminded me of Bunnicula. Don't know if you had to read. Well, we grew up in different states. So in Tennessee, we had to read the story of Bunnicula, which was about a fucking scary ass bunny.
What the?
When you say it like that, it doesn't. Yeah, no, it was fucking wild though. It's like a Dracula bunny essentially. If I remember, I don't know if that's correctly remembered, but I do remember.
When did you read this?
Oh man, I mean, I had to have been in elementary school at least for
what
sure.
The fuck?
Yeah, 3rd or 4th grade. But
Tennessee, you're fucking your kids up.
Listen, man,
Look,
we couldn't.
She's 26 years old. She just.
I'm still fucking thinking of that rabbit.
She's watching a movie and she thought about a fucking rabbit.
Like, no. Well, I mean, listen, AR champ, baby. Let me get that accelerated reading program. I was always going on those school trips. All right, I was actually reading the books.
Oh, okay.
Just fucking taking the tests and just.
What was your highest
it.
What was your highest above grade level you were reading before that shit got like kind of
insane?
Well, not insane. It just kind of fell off. It's like that was a thing. And then you got to a point where you stopped caring about how high of a grade level you were reading.
I had to have been in high school. So probably like freshman, sophomore year. I was like, actually before that, as far as AR points goes, that's when I was like, I don't get it.
Right.
But, I mean, I guess you cap
like,
out when you get to middle school, right? Because at that point, it's just all...
Is that what I
So,
can't
like, young
remember.
adult? I don't know.
I just remember when I was like in 3rd grade. I was like, I'm reading at a 5th grade level.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, you want to fuck? I mean, when I was in kindergarten, I was rocking at like 2nd grade, 3rd grade.
Oh, well, you know.
My parents were reading to me at night.
Again, 3rd grade reading at a 5th grade level. Same fucking jump.
You went. I can't really say.
Same jump.
Listen, we both grew up in the South, so
Right.
understand that our level of education,
Is
K
incredible.
through 12, is
First of all,
yeah, it's incredible.
First of all, let me
Our
go ahead
version of history is very different, probably.
Well, let me go ahead and tell you that Texas is one of the leading
You know,
textbook distributors across the nation.
You know what?
So
Fuck.
our education is exactly what the
Horribly wrong.
exactly what the Texas people, the great people of the Texas education system, want us it to be, and they can't be wrong because they're in Texas.
Let me tell you something. Let me fucking tell you. Let me tell you a quick story about these fucking people from Texas. So one year I was in New Orleans with my friend Kristen, and I think our friend Kat and her cousin Chris. Right? I don't know. I told you the story.
You haven't.
We're in New Orleans, right? Doing what you do in New Orleans. You have your daiquiris and your pizza slices and your boob shots, but that you don't want, by the way, that you find out later is $40. But that's besides the point.
Okay.
But we were at this bar. It was probably later on in the evening time, and you just start making that general bar talk. Oh, like where are you from?
Right.
So we found out. So we're obviously from Tennessee. These two guys are from Texas.
Fuck Texas.
Fucking Texas. So they start talking and
What before?
Yeah.
Hold on. They were dudes.
they were bros.
Ooh.
They were fucking bros.
Woof.
The bros from the Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they started talking about how great Texas was, which I don't doubt, but how great Texas is, I don't know. And all this shit about how great Texas is. And we kind of got a little pissed because we were like, now hold on a second. Do you remember the Alamo? Like Davy Crockett?
Now hold on a
Now
daggum
wait
minute.
a damn minute. Because if it wasn't for the people from Tennessee, the fucking volunteers from Tennessee, you guys
Right.
would still be using pesos. And then
Wow.
they were like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "I mean, my school that I was currently attending at the time, University of Tennessee, Go Vols. They were a fucking school before Texas was even a state."
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then obviously the conversation shifted to, well,
Yeah.
when was the last time you won a fucking SEC championship?
Oh.
And I was like, fuck you, that's not what
Well,
we're talking about right now,
Yeah.
Mr.
Listen, I'm not even gonna.
So that's
Look.
my gripe.
Okay.
Clearly I'm still about it.
We're kind of in a rabbit hole here. Oddly enough, I started with a rabbit story, but but before I move out of this rabbit hole, before we climb on out,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with a disclaimer.
Yeah?
I am not like a hoorah Texas guy.
Okay.
I am a native,
I respect that.
but I'm not like
Two T's.
I'm not like a Texas is the best. It's not the best in a lot of ways. However,
Okay.
if you want to understand why Texans believe it's the best, it isn't because of fucking football and all
Marketing?
that shit. It's not marketing.
Mm.
It's even though we're not the first fucking state, and whatever, your school was a school before Texas was a state, yada yada yada. It's the whole culture that Texas was.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of is. I mean, it's just there always. Like, it's the home of the fucking cowboy. You know what I mean?
Yeet.
It's the
Oh.
and even if that's not historically accurate, even if there were cowboys other places, the only ones that mattered were the ones in Texas. And the reason why I say this is because it's like Texas was a place where people from Tennessee felt they had to come and save us.
All right.
And it's not because they were like, we're good Tennesseans. They were like, fucking Texas is where it's on and
I
popping.
think it was the first one.
Texas is on and popping. We need to save Texas.
Listen.
And that's why Texas is number one.
Okay. Listen, I fuck with your Whataburgers. I like it.
Fucking disgusting. Sorry,
Whatever.
Texans.
I fucking like it.
Listen, here's a discussion. God damn it, we're in a rabbit hole. Here's a discussion that I cannot stand.
What do you...
Shake Shack, In-N-Out, and then Texas is like, what a burger.
It's great. Leave it alone.
And it's not even fucking close.
The fries are so good.
But it's not even close. It's like, what's the best burger you can get in most places? Let me just give that out there. It's not like the best burger because, of course, you have your fucking local joints that probably can, make a burger that'll blow your mind all over the place. But one that's acceptable, and it's like In-N-Out, Shake Shack, Five Guys, and then Texas just feels like they feel like they have to be in the conversation, and so they're like
always because it's fucking Texas.
They're like Whataburger, and it's not even.
What about Whataburger?
It's not even fucking close.
No, it's fucking
you
good.
You want to know what the number one thing that most people in Texas honey butter chicken sandwich from Whataburger. That's the thing they like the most.
Did not fucking expect that.
A honey butter chicken sandwich is not a fucking burger, you idiots.
No,
that's not a burger. I'm getting heated.
Yeah, I didn't realize you felt.
I'm getting heated because it's not a fucking burger. If you're gonna talk about a burger joint, what's the best burger joint? In-N-Out, by the way.
In-N-Out.
I'm kidding. It's Shake Shack. I got you all. In-N-Out's not even nearly.
I was about to say, don't even get me
Shack.
fucking started about In-N-Out.
It's not even close.
Fucking
to Shake Shack.
overrated West Coast bullshit.
In-N-Out is good, but it's not close to Shake Shack.
Agreed.
And honestly, what's better than Shake Shack?
Pals.
Hot Dotties. Hot Dotties is good as shit.
We're in Tennessee. We're gonna take you to fucking Pals one day and just blow your mind. It's just best not fast food you can have.
Right. It's okay.
Leave it at that. But going back to us.
Yes. Jesus.
Wow.
I just had to get the Whataburger thing off
No,
my
that's fair.
chest.
No, that's fair. I know.
Because Texas, you're not in the talks of best burger. I'm sorry. You're not. You don't have a chain. Austin has P. Terry's, and P. Terry's is pretty solid, but even P. Terry's isn't like incredible.
Okay.
It's just a solid little fast food joint that makes pretty good burgers.
Okay.
Their fries are good. But like
the fries make or break it for me, to be honest.
I would take P. Terry's over Whataburger every day of the week. Also, P. Terry's has a cooler color scheme. Just saying.
Okay, that's where
matters.
it is though. Okay, it does matter. It does matter.
I'm wearing my Shake Shack socks on right now.
Shake Shack
Yeah,
is
say that a lot.
fantastic. I wish there was one closer to us.
You know what? And
Not
I
a sponsor
think,
yet.
yeah, I wish they were closer to us. And speaking of us, just to get, we're gonna wrap it up, obviously, because we once we got down to that rabbit hole, clearly we had made our points about the
We
film.
definitely went down the tethered.
I don't really. So You isn't really a show where we give things a rating. We're kind of just giving opinions.
We're just fucking talking.
And yeah, you can hate or love it, or do both.
Okay.
Hit that subscribe button.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Smash that
share
button.
share it with a bud of yours that you think would also like a podcast to listen to. Us listen.
Yes.
Us is a great film. Don't listen to your peers who said it was all right. They're idiots.
Fucking go watch it.
Even if they're not idiots, they're
Form
idiots.
your own opinion.
Yeah, not to force your opinion or anything. No, it's a good. I thought it was a great film. Elle thought it was a great film.
Fantastic.
Or a good film.
No, it was good. Yeah, it was a great film. Yeah.
And
I enjoyed it.
You know Jordan Peele, he's directing bangers out here, so
He's got 5 on it.
Yeah. So you just need to watch it. It's very impactful. I think you can take a lot from it. I think you can take your own little version of it.
Absolutely.
So, for me, I think the biggest one I landed on again was just kind of when you and I think it came mostly from when they do have to kind of kill their own doppelganger.
Yeah.
And for me, that was some of the most impactful imagery where it's
Absolutely.
you have to kind of take out this version of you that is intruding in your life. It's invading your life, and you're letting it. And so, there's a point where it gets so desperate that one of you are coming out on the top.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So,
I agree with that.
which version of that is gonna make it?
Which version of you wins?
Yeah.
Only time will tell.
But
All right.
yeah,
It's about that time.
yeah. Next time on So You.